What's up, everybody? Been getting a lot of questions about my pedals, how I set them up, and my trigger setup, so I'm going to go through all of that in this video. Going to try to keep it short and sweet for you. So I'm playing Czarcie Kopyto pedals with their light beater, and I'm using Kaptor triggers. As far as the beater goes, I'm using the flat beater head. They do have a round one that comes with it. I just feel like the flat one bounces off the head a little bit better for me. As a double strokes player, it feels a little bit better for me. My spring tension is about an 8 out of 10, so it's not totally maxed out, but it's pretty close. If you can see these drive levers here, I have the one up by the beater. That one is in the third slot down, so there's 2 slots in front of it. And then the footboard one, that's all the way down. I think that might be stock. I can't remember, but you can see that there. And then this guy right here, which is super cool, it basically just tells you your beater angle and your footboard angle and all that stuff. You can adjust those individually, which is super nice. So I have mine on the 5th one down. So you can see that there. And just makes it super easy if you have multiple sets to make everything consistent between both your pedals. And this is just the right pedal, but you can easily connect it to the left and make a double pedal or have 2 singles, whatever you want. Super easy with Czarcie. Love them. Like I said, using the light beater, it's got this cool memory lock. So basically, you can't put your beater in incorrectly. I mean, it's never going to be at an angle that you don't want it to be at, which is super, super sick, super handy. I've definitely messed that up before. So these Kaptor triggers, basically, what I wanted out of them was I wanted them to connect at a part of the pedal that basically they were just too short for. So Thomas over at Kaptor kindly made me these lifts, and as you can see, it's got this riser. And basically, I wanted the trigger to connect kind of at a meatier part of the footboard where it didn't have the grooves and all that stuff, just to make sure that it was 100% of the time connecting with the sensor or the trigger. And basically that lift solved the problem immediately. So Kaptor has this hard plastic sensor, which is nice, doesn't ding up your pedals or anything like that. I've got these marked and all that for left and right and all that stuff, and we'll get to that on the triggers in a minute. But that's basically all my pedal settings. I will include a picture of my beater swing and all that stuff. It's not terribly extreme. I'd say it's maybe a little closer than most guys have it, but it's nothing crazy. And as you can see, the beater height, there's about, a quarter of an inch of the beater left. So it's kind of high, but I feel like it gives me a good swing. So we're going to move on over to my trigger settings right now, and that's pretty much it for how I have the pedals set up. Okay, this is my whole trigger unit right here. So it's basically a hybrid of a couple things I've seen people do. So with Whitechapel, Brandon Cagle devised this system where everything sits on a guitar pedal board, which I thought was pretty cool. So I ended up implementing that into my rig as well. A lot of people have seen, pictures and posts of this, and they've gone, why do you have 2 TM2s? Or, oh, that's smart, you have a backup TM2. I mean, it does sort of serve as a backup if I need it, but I'm actually running them completely individually from each other. So the right kick drum, or the right pedal, goes into this unit, and the left one goes into this one. I saw Austin from Lorna Shore and his drum tech Eli doing this, and I thought it was pretty brilliant, so I ended up doing it myself. Basically what it does is it cuts down the input by half. So if you're playing double strokes or anything like that, everything is individual, going into its own module, and it has cleaned up my triggering a ton. So I definitely kind of swear by this now and wouldn't go back to just using one unit. The other cool thing about this is basically anybody that's used a TM2 knows that if you're trying to change your sensitivity, your threshold, or anything like that, you have to do it by, 1 and 2 and all that, and it gets confusing live sometimes if you're trying to do it real quick. So basically I have these set up to the point where If I need to change something on the left one, I can do it on the fly super quick, or the right one, I can do it super quick. Everything is just already set up. You don't have to be messing around with input and all that stuff. The other cool thing about this is everything is all plugged in. So this guy is obviously the trigger input, and this is the out. So basically the output goes into this one DI, which then goes to the front of house and my in-ears. I will put all of my settings in the description, just so you don't have to like rewind the video a million times to see what I'm running. Both units are set up exactly the same. However, I will change settings, sensitivity, threshold, and all that stuff live if I need to. Maybe the stage is wobbly, or maybe the riser is funky or something like that. So I do adjust those night to night. But generally speaking, everything is the same. If anybody's got any questions or anything like that, drop them in the comments or hit me up. And hopefully this gave you some ideas about maybe implementing it in your rig, or maybe you just think that this is overkill. Either way, thanks for checking it out. Appreciate it.